Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. Welcome to the session on 22/10/2022. So, in today's newspaper, if we see, first most important thing is about take immediate action against the hate speech, Supreme Court. Because across the country, across all the religions, people are going for hate speeches. They are criticizing another religion which is causing some sort of disturbance in the country, and people call it intolerance. So to ensure that it is reduced, Supreme Court has told that even if a case is not filed, someone has not come and given complaint, it is the responsibility of the police to look into it and file FIR, else it will be seen as contempt of court. That means violation of the order, which is a good indication. Let all the religions be respected. There is no right for anyone to criticize any other religion. That would make the society far more cautious. Pakistan is out of FATF grey list on terror funding. So guys, there is something called as FATF, Financial Action Task Force, guys. And this task force will determine whether a country is supporting terror organization or is it acting against it. So basically what happens, let us say there is a terror organization, and the country is allowing the terror organization to open bank account, to get funds from outside and to do transaction, and where these are giving funds to some other terror groups. All these will be done by that particular country. And when FATF asks for the reports, please give us your bank statements. Give us the details of the banks. Now, these countries which would have helped, funded, the terror outfits will not provide any sort of details to the FATF. Then FATF will tell it is not verifiable whether you are supporting terrorists or whether you are acting against terrorists, because for saying you might say many things, but it is not verifiable until and unless it is credible, verifiable, irreversible and sustainable. We cannot call that the country has done something with respect to terrorism. And guys, then the FATF will put the country under grey list or it will put the country under blacklist. Before putting a country into blacklist, it will tell the country, I will give you opportunity. You show me these results. The intention is not to punish the country. The intention is to ensure the country will not take any measures where terrorists are protected. So what they will tell, look into this properly. These issues you need to give us information. So there are some 34-point list, out of which if you do few, then you will be removed from the FATF grey list. Fine. So this is most important for us, guys. Next, Imran Khan barred from elections over corruption charges. Guys, in Pakistan, they are aware that Imran Khan is going to win the elections and they are doing everything to prevent him from contesting the elections, and the latest is to ensure that he don't participate in the election because of the election charges. Sorry, corruption charges. Yes, there was a environment and ecology news in a south page. AP is country's third home for green Munya. Yes, actually this green Munya or green Adawat is actually present in the grasslands of Andhra Pradesh. It is also present in Rajasthan and Central India. It actually is under Schedule 1, right? And it is vulnerable under IUCN. At least these 3 points must be there. Green Munya or Green Adawat. Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act, vulnerable as per IUCN. Next, guys. Yes, in the editorial, this particular article is trying to talk about child sexual abusive material. In this, they say that when we see internationally, in US and UK, there are certain NGOs which are working to ensure that child sexual abusive material are completely removed. Unfortunately, even though in India we are part of certain international committees, there is no mechanism to ensure that, the CSAM is being reported. So we should also ensure that they are reported regularly and they are being monitored and removed. This is what it is trying to tell. Because in Indian society, right, child issues, you can write child sexually abusive material, child sexually abusive material. Below that you can write in UK, in UK, Internet Watch Foundation, Internet Watch Foundation is ensuring a safe online environment, a safe online environment. Next, in hope, a global network of 50 hotlines and report CSAM. Full stop. In India, there are certain measures taken, like filing online complaints, but but the effectivity is less. India should make it mandatory. India should make it mandatory for ensuring CSAM is removed completely from the internet. So guys, the next issue is actually written by a scholar, but in that what is extremely important is he's trying to say that China is trying to change its nuclear expansion policy. Recently, China has told that we should make powerful, strong, strategic, deterrent capability system. The meaning of this is, earlier China was trying to say we need to have a deterrent system Now it is saying powerful, strong, strategic deterrent capability system. In India, we have credible nuclear deterrence, where we say we should have nuclear triad. That is, we can launch from air, we can launch from land, we can launch from sea. Today, we are also talking here about launching from, China is also thinking of all these aspects. In this, the most important one is China today has 350 nuclear warheads and they want to double it within next 5 to 10 years, guys. It's not so important, but it is helpful if you can remember it. Guys, coffee industry is in trouble. Question can be asked about this. So actually what has happened, let us look into it, guys. There was excessive rain in Chikmagalur and other parts recently, and as rain was very high, what has happened, most of the roots, stem and other parts have been under trouble. Now, as it is there, there is a possibility that the plantations may fall down, and it is believed that there is alternatively two issues happening, droughts and floods, due to which most of the plants are getting affected. See, yes, first one is floods, second one is alternative droughts and floods, which is affecting the trees. Third most important thing they say is, if at all this continues and if all the plants are affected, then again we need to wait and grow the plantations. And when we do that, we need money. And to get the money, banks are not giving money until and unless there is collateral. And the collateral costs around, like, if collateral means like you have to give something to get the loan. If that is not there, then they will charge around 12%, which will be extremely high. Correct. So when it is extremely high, it is not possible for us to pay, is what the farmers are trying to say. And second important thing, in many other countries, the interest rates are very, very less. In India, it is more, making us, less competitive. That means most of the coffee that is produced in the country is exported to other countries. That means we are competing in international market. Brazil, Vietnam and all, labor charges are less, right? And production cost is less, and input cost is less. Most importantly, for them the bank cost is also less. But in India, all these are high, making Indian coffee less competitive in the global world. So this is what the article is trying to tell, right? This is important because it is not associated with Karnataka, it is associated with coffee industry, which can be asked. So the points that I told you, you can make notes of them. Terrorism is the worst form of human rights violation. Guys, the world is trying to divide between good Taliban, bad Taliban, good terrorism, bad terrorism. China is trying to stop by calling few terrorist groups as freedom fighters. So when we look at all these things, India is trying to say it is the worst form of human rights violation. Rather than focusing on other issues, it is very important for us to get rid of terrorism. So Interpol must form a group or network which will help in identifying terrorists who are roaming here and there, and at the same time anti-narcotics agencies must be there who will provide real-time information. Let us say, some goods are coming from Myanmar to India. So India can go to the border, catch these people. So sharing of information is very, very important to fight against these groups, guys. That's what it tries to say. And Amit Shah is trying to say that after COVID, we have been successful in removing certain hotspots of terrorism. Modi's many trips to Gujarat mean BJP not in good shape, Congress not important. Shivraj Patil's remarks on jihad in Bhagavad Gita are unacceptable, says Congress. Guys, Congress tries to say Hindus are wrong. BJP tries to say Muslims are wrong. Right? All these are making some sort of intolerance where the Supreme Court is trying to say the hate speech must be reduced. This is very, very important. Yes, in 2019, India went for a mission to locate how many great Indian bastards are there and all. At that time, UPSC asked a question on great Indian bastard. Now UPSC is again asking, now you have issue again. That is this great Indian bastard which was mostly present in Rajasthan has now migrated to Pakistan, but the problem here is if it is found in Pakistan, they do lot of hunting of this, right? But this has been migrated to Pakistan from Rajasthan, which is a cause of concern. And remember, Great Indian Bustard is a state animal of Rajasthan, and it is present in the Desert National Park, where 95% of the species is present in that particular region, guys. Army chopper crashes, not required. Is Tejas to be integrated with BrahMos next generation missile in a few years? Because BrahMos is India made and India and Russia made, and Tejas is India made. If these two can be brought together, then our fight and to make deterrence will be very easy. So they are planning to integrate the both effectively. State governments cannot enter into broadcasting on their own. Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu have their own channels, and it is telling if you have to do anything, do Prasar Bharati. Again, there may be issues with respect to that. Don't worry. Yeah. There is a third issue today about the environment and ecology, and it is about central panel to probe illegal felling of trees in Corbett National Park. It's actually trees and all we have to protect under Schedule 6, and Indian government has ensured that through biosphere reserves and national parks, we are actually trying to ensure that there is some sort of what do you call as measures being taken to protect the forest, but unfortunately in Corbett National Park the tree felling has been increased, and this needs to be reduced is what the Green Tribunal is looking after. Smarter army posts to improve living conditions of the troops. Paddy pellet scheme does not account for production cost, say entrepreneurs. See, guys, Hindu newspaper is trying to identify a negative there, but if you read the entire article is trying to say that it is provided by the government to ensure that initially people are motivated to come into the scheme and take up this and help environment. What is the role of the government in providing subsidy and all? It is not aimed at reducing the production cost. It is aimed at providing some input cost to you. For example, if the cost is 50 lakhs and I don't have 50 lakhs, I have only 20 lakhs, government will support me with 30 lakhs so that I can set it up. Later, when I earn money, I have to give it back to the government. So, Hindu newspaper is trying to show it as a negative one, but that's not true. Here, it is trying to say that the most important thing happening in this is Indian government wants us to go for increasing the number of pellet production centers. For that, they are funding us. So, nothing much, guys. Yeah, guys, the three important aspects of the bird in Andhra Pradesh, Great Indian Bustard in Rajasthan, right? And Corbett National Park. So those are important apart from the Chinese thing. Thank you guys.